everybody, this is Richard and I'm Melanie. This is the first class of a 3-week series called Getting a Kick Out of Lead and Follow. So we're just going to go over tonight's class content so that you've got something to remember for next week when you come back.
We started off with this exercise where we're emphasising the even beat as we do in swing. The exercise goes like this, it goes tick-tock, ooh-wah, 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 tick-tock, ooh-wah, 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 tick-tock, ooh-wah, tick-tock, ooh-wah, tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Then we can introduce kick steps. So if we're doing that down the line, we can then be going 1, 2, on the level, kick, 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 kick. Our kick steps have an up feel to them. So where I'm going step, hold, with a kick step, I'm thinking more to have a little bit of an up toss. I'm going up, down, and then I can mix those with the kick steps. Do a few of one, do a few of the other, see if the follow picks it up. Then the other thing we have to mix with that is we can be going step, hold, and triple step, and triple step. Then we can mix up all of those steps, and the exercise we did there was simply we would be walking around the room, and then we might do something or the other. When we do that, you can mix up any of those steps. You can mix those steps up in a basic Charleston, so we can have something like rock step, kick, kick and toe heel, rock step, ooh-wah, ooh-wah, rock step, triple step, kick and toe heel, rock step, toe heel, tip, top, triple step. So we can mix up any of those steps when we're doing the Charleston pattern, which kick and toe heel, or rock step, kick, kick and kick step. We can replace the forward part of the movement with a triple step. We can do a regular kick step, or we can just step through it. And when we do the other part, we can tick-tock, or we can kick and when we come back, we can either kick step, we can step, hold through it, or we can triple step.
So basically there's lots of variations you can do, and I was saying in the class that it's actually really handy when you're needing to travel across the dance floor and keep an eye on your floor craft. So basically, the key here is leading the difference. So for the ooh-wah steps, you're really keeping kind of a level step with your pulse. For the triples, you're really digging into the ground, and for the kick steps, you've got a slight lift in your step so that your follow can actually follow you.
The next exercise that we have is we want to work a little bit on our frame and using our bodies to create a bit of rotation. So what I'm doing is I set up my frame reasonably relaxed, I connect up with my follow, and then what I'm doing is I'm twisting my body away from my arm, and she's reacting to that. So I'm getting my follow to Mel to be a bit like a rock. She reacts with the pressure on my arm. This is just what comes naturally. So I'm moving my body away from my arm. I'm not waggling my arm around, and again we can do all of that
on the wrong
side of our body. So we want to get how that feels as well. And feel the muscles engage on your back and on your arm. So I think of my arm like a bar. I have put my shoulders into position, and I keep my elbows tucked in nicely. If I keep my elbows and everything tucked in, I can't get much further than there. I can feel a lot of power in that.
So you're creating a really strong bind here through the shoulders and through the arms. So this was just a connection exercise, but in a dancing situation, obviously his body lead will, I would follow. But for the purpose of the exercise, if I just have a stationary stance and match the energy and the tension that he creates, it enables him to understand the stretch feeling that we're trying to generate.
Then the next exercise we have is we have a rock step using that. So this time we're sharing that movement. Rock step, we can do a kick the dog, skip up type of pattern. We can then transfer our follow to the other side, and we can do the same rock step, kick the dog type pattern, transfer our follow, that up, across. And then we also have the straight across. To do that, I use a little bit more of the linear movement. So when I want to do the little on the spot one, I'm creating more of a rotation. more open so they get a little bit more energy. We can also do that same rotational rock step from open. So we have a rock step in, out, over, rock step in, out, over, rock step over, rock step over, and then we can start mixing our opens and closed. Rock step, rock step, close, close to open. So we can mix up all of those basic patterns.
Yeah, now bearing in mind the follow doesn't know you're about to do this, so she's just staying on her line, and it's up to the lead to create some space between the pair in order to get the open handhold.
Then what we have, what we did next was we have a rock step kick in, rock step into hand to hands, kick and rock step. So when we're doing this, we're starting off with the same rotation rock step. We're kicking in, and then I'm going to kick down the line. We're going to actually kick down the line like that, and we can catch to closed, just like in a basic Charleston. So if we were to do that, we would go rock step, kick step, kick step, kick step, kick step, kick step, catch. The key with that is when I'm turning, I drop my hand down and I almost feed her off the back part of my hand so that we turn like cogs. She feels the amount of turn that I give her.
So basically the lead sets up the momentum for the follow.
We'll do it from this angle. And again, exit just like that. Right, and then we have the accelerated version of that. So what we can do here is, if we want to get both of us around for a rock step instead of just me, we can go accelerated rock step, and then we can go back to closed. So for that to work, I make sure that I've got a nice connection with my fellow on the back, and I turn my body with a bit of extra gusto so that she comes around at the same time as me. I can catch her early for that rock step back to closed.
So you're generating kind of a post or an anchor at this point, so that you're catching her momentum. So because her natural instinct would to continue kicking down the line, kick step, and keeping her basic footwork pattern. So this one really does need to stop her before she...
So if I was to do not that, I have that's quite relaxed. But if I was to accelerate it, then she comes around and she's there in time. I can catch her nice and early. I've got to catch her early, and so that and she's got to have a bit of energy, which will make her make contact with that hand, and then she will feel my rock step as I do that.
And you are both framing up here. Obviously, he's got a reasonable amount of tension in this arm, and because I'm matching it.
It's the same. We often have this position here. It's just that quarter there. And I'm not allowing my arm to go. I'm keeping my elbow nice and in, keeping a nice position. When she hits it, that energy is going to instantly react through my muscles and we'll get that rock step. The contrast, of course, is that when we do the version without that, I do the rock step, but I've just kept my follow going gracefully through the move so that she keeps a nice, relaxed kick step pattern going.
And because I've got my frame up and ready at any given moment, I suddenly, notice that he's caught my hand, and all of a sudden we're doing hand-to-hand. So. And
the exit for those hand-to-hands, just so you guys know, is I'm going to go, so to get into it, rock step, kick and kick step, kick and kick and rock step, kick step, kick step. This is very similar to the other movements. I believe that's...
Thanks for class. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.